There are these people who have actually been telling us that we have been focusing much on the illegal immigrants issue. For example, in South Africa, Kenya, the Nigerians taking over other people's countries and doing bad things. And yet we have the issue in which white people are occupying huge swaths of land in different countries. Now, we have had very many politicians like Julius Malema who have actually been suggesting that they issue orders so that the land is returned back to the people, etc. However, my approach is slightly different. Now, first of all land that was acquired during the colonial period should actually be returned to the people of those countries. For example, in South Africa, the people of South Africa, that land ought to be returned. In Kenya, lands in Laikipia, Kericho, etc., those lands should be returned to their rightful owners, because crimes were actually committed during those times. You know, we have our ancestors, our grandparents who were actually forcefully removed and forcefully evicted from those lands, you know. And since it is almost 80, 60, 70, 100 years past, that doesn't mean that that crime didn't happen. Even if the persons who committed the crimes actually passed away, that doesn't mean that the crime should go away that way. Our lands should be returned, you know, because at the end of the day, if you also observe during those periods, the colonial periods, even black people in the US, the UK were not even allowed to own land. Why should we leave these lands in the hands of these people? Yet, during the same time, they really mistreated our people, you know. And even in the UK, in the US, in Europe today, if you went somewhere and started grabbing land, you would be quickly evicted from that land, and you could even be jailed, you know. So that is a serious issue. Now, how we handle this issue is what is the most important thing. Malema has been suggesting issuing decrees and forcefully evicting these people. My approach is slightly different. I'd suggest that, for example, in Kenya, in South Africa, we do some sort of a referendum. Yeah, we do a referendum, because these are huge pieces of land that were grabbed. So we just pose the question, do you want the government to reclaim this land, or do you want these white people to remain with the same land? And this will create an opportunity for the government to explain how, if at all it took over these lands, how will it redistribute these lands to the people, which criteria will be used, how many acres or how many hectares will each person get, etc. Yeah, number one. Number two, it will also give an opportunity to the white settlers and the white people who actually grabbed these lands to actually also explain to the people of Kenya or South Africa or Nigeria or Uganda why they need to be let to stay on those lands, and why they think the actions that were done by their grandparents were actually just, you know, because at the end of the day, that is what is very important. Now, I say this is the safest path possible, because we have the international judicial system, which is not very fair. It is very biased. It is quite unfunctional and everything. Now, the moment we issue decrees and say we are grabbing land, we are taking over this land, which is sincerely ours. It is our land. Yeah, but the moment we say we'll be taking this land, these white people will quickly rush to their Western people over there and raise this issue. And what will follow next is that you'll start seeing countries like the US and the UK issuing sanctions, sanctioning us and everything, and trying to defend these people and say these people have been here, etc., etc. Despite the fact that even they themselves know that these white people actually grabbed these lands that they are staying on, you know. And when someone tries to say that we are focusing much on the immigration issue and forgetting about this, that person is trying to play with the emotions and trying to be clever and act clever. Because here's the thing: the immigration issue is a very serious problem. You know, just because we have an issue, a land issue problem in our country, doesn't mean that you have a ticket to now start flooding our country and start doing crimes. And whenever we talk about it, you start calling us xenophobic. Whenever we talk about it, you start calling us racist. You know, you start calling us how we can't really tackle our land issues and whatever. You know, that is not the reality. And at the end of the day, most of the issues relating to immigrants are usually issues that touch to everyone almost immediately. You know, the land issue, we can always sort it slowly by slowly, but at the end of the day, we'll get a solution.